the voice that led BTS and K-pop to the world stage, a BTS video essay. And can I just say, I don't usually like to hear the word essay because that just reminds me of English at school. Yeah. But if it's a BTS video essay, I'm not really complaining.
Yeah. And if it's boracity cooking up as they normally do.
Yeah. Exactly, and providing us with, I guess, more information, right, about their come up, because we're still relatively new to this.
Yeah.
And so understanding what they've been through for us to enjoy them in 2026, I think is always very, very helpful to us.
Facts, and I feel like Boracity always goes into so much detail about these guys, and that's what I love. It's every single detail that we see. It's like shit that we won't see anywhere else that they dig up.
It's backed by research. Every single point is backed by research, and the voice that led BTS, I mean, this has to be about RM.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right? I mean, no question about it.
Exactly. Literally, he's the man. He's always taken to the stage. He's given the first, like, he's very vocal.
Spokesperson.
He's a spokesperson.
Exactly.
Years ago, I made a video titled BTS
We watched it.
Why is it so hard to accept it? In that video, I explained why BTS definitely did pave
using the definition of
to be part of the mainstream.
Showing the photos.
It was only after BTS entered the Billboard charts when Billboard created charts only for K-pop. It was only after BTS started winning Western award shows when Western award shows created K-pop categories. It was only after BTS started winning social media awards when K-pop artists became active on social media. It was only after BTS started attending American television when K-pop artists started being invited to American television. It was only after BTS started getting Grammy nominations when K-pop artists started submitting their music to the Grammys. It was only after BTS's fandom requested to have their albums on major stores like Target when K-pop artists started selling their albums in major stores like Target. BTS paved the way because without them, K-pop would have remained a niche interest and it wouldn't have the global platform it has today thanks to BTS. Those are only some of the reasons why BTS paved the way. But something I didn't address in that video was how. How did BTS manage to successfully enter and stay on the Billboard charts, receive Western nominations and win, attend American television, and become the biggest group in the world? It seems impossible. Other K-pop artists, backed by the biggest labels in South Korea, and even with Western partnerships, attempted success in the Western music industry before BTS, and they failed. Their Western promotions failed to gain popularity in the West, much less pave the way for an entire industry. So again, how were BTS the ones able to break down these barriers? It is well known that BTS didn't have the resources to create a promotion master plan or pay for any of these opportunities. So in my opinion, there are multiple factors that made BTS's attempts successful. Their self-produced music, their more relatable image, their connection to fans on social media, their creative promotion strategies, and even their underdog story made their small group of fans believe in the members, grow organically, and fight for these opportunities alongside BTS. This is why K-pop fans who reject the idea of BTS paving the way attack these factors more than anything else. Their music is only self-produced because of lack of money to hire producers. The members are not actually genuine. Their connection with fans is just fan service. Their creative strategies were not that creative because someone did something similar.
That is the craziest thing.
Be real. It has to be part of a bigger promotion strategy.
Like
These are
what?
common excuses by K-pop fans whenever someone mentions reasons why BTS stood out and were able to break down barriers. But one of the most important and therefore hated reasons can be seen in moments like this.
And maybe I made a mistake yesterday, but yesterday's me is still me. Today, I am who I am with all of my faults and
United
mistakes.
Nations.
Tomorrow, I might be a tiny bit wiser, and that'll be me too.
어른들 눈에 보이지 않는다고 해서 길을 잃었다고 말할 수 있을까요? 모든 선택은 그 선택이 곧 변화의 시작이라고 믿고 있습니다. 엔딩이 아니라요.
Thank President Biden and the White House.
White House.
Opportunity to speak about the important
Looking
causes. Remind ourselves.
Or look at everyone in the suits.
As an artist,
Hold on, I need to go back and look at what he said, but I was just looking at that.
Important opportunity to speak about the important causes. Remind ourselves of what we can do as artists.
As an artist, I promise that I will also let my imagination fill the canvas you will create. I will play my heart out in the playground you will build for us. I promise that I'll do my part by sending a message of courage and hope and lots of emotions through music.
Not a lot is said about the exact role RM's leadership played not just in the success of BTS, but in the success of the K-pop industry.
As a
A
whole.
simplification of RM's role I see a lot is that RM is the English speaker in BTS. Therefore, he's going to be the spokesperson in international English.
That's not the only reason though.
With their globalization. But we all know it's not just that. Many other K-pop groups have English speakers. Some, unlike RM, are native English speakers. Some may even be native English speakers who are also good with public speaking, yet they don't have moments like this. It's not just because he's multilingual or a good speaker. What made RM change the K-pop industry was his willingness to be a messenger for art, not just an artist. For RM, art was never about himself or even about BTS. For RM, art always had a bigger purpose. Now, with this, I want to clarify that I don't believe RM is the only or the first real artist in the K-pop industry. That notion is ridiculous, and I would never argue that. What I'm trying to say is that RM is probably the most powerful messenger in the K-pop industry of the creative process, the artist's struggle, and the power of art itself. He always insisted in sharing this message. This is how, whether it was on his first small studio or at the United Nations Assembly, his message and his insistence inevitably changed the industry. He convinced everyone. He convinced the first big hit producers who discovered him and made him the first member of BTS. He convinced the BTS members to stay with him in that powerless label. He convinced the label to let BTS be their first group to just have a little more loose rules and strategies. This new way of doing things convinced audiences to become BTS fans little by little, and the success of BTS made the K-pop industry follow their lead. Once again, please pay attention to what I'm actually saying and notice what I'm not saying. I'm not saying RM single-handedly made BTS successful, made the label get out of bankruptcy, and paved the way for the entire K-pop industry. Quite the opposite. I believe the 7 BTS members were needed for the group to pave the way. But all of these talents would have probably stayed in the niche K-pop industry without RM's leadership and outspoken message. The same way, RM's leadership and message would mean nothing without all of these talents. They needed each other, RM as the leader, and a label that let RM lead.
I'm a very lucky person. I'm lucky to have met the 6 other members of BTS. I'm lucky that I met our producer, Bang, who gave us his full support that we could make the music we love.
뭐 빌보드부터 시작해서 합정 1위 다 좋은 결과도 있는데 사실 담수이 없었으면 아무것도 못했어. 상상을 했겠습니다. 진짜 못했어요. 이건 진짜 참된 리더예요. 참된 리더. 참리 이거는 인정 안 하는 참리 리더죠.
So here's how RM led BTS and K-pop to the mainstream music industry.
It's a huge honor to be here and to meet all the leaders of APEC here in Korea, where I was born and raised. I'm honored to tell you about myself and to share my message.
RM's speeches over the years have been historic. The one he gave at the 2018 UN General Assembly was particularly reported on, studied,
Oh my gosh, dang, you watched this whole thing.
Maybe I made a mistake yesterday, but yesterday's me.
That's what I'm saying.
Who I am today was all of my faults. Tomorrow I might be a tiny bit wiser, and that's me too.
I've come to love myself for who I am, for who I was, and for who I hope to become.
And she's wearing purple.
It was his 2025 APEC speech, the one with the most direct message about BTS's impact in the global music industry. It was RM officially admitting how he led BTS and K-pop to where they are today. In November of 2025, RM was invited to the Economic Leaders Meeting, part of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation the South Korean government was hosting. But that day, he was not invited to be part of the entertainment. He was invited as a delegate to give a speech. The attendees were world leaders like presidents, and the speakers were influential executives and economic leaders from companies like Google, Microsoft, Meta, Hyundai, Samsung Web Services, Johnson & Johnson, and TikTok. That is except for one person, RM. Unlike all the other speakers, RM did not talk about numbers.
I'm not sure how familiar you are with K-culture or K-pop, but I'm sure you all agree that the cultural industry has great economic value and growth with potential. Well, I'm just an artist. I am not a business leader. I don't think you want to hear any numbers or figures from me.
Instead, RM was there to explain the soft power of K-culture. He gave his usual inspiring message. Music is healing. Music is human and a way we communicate. That is the power of art.
I'm lucky I'm an army who accept our music, not just as a diversion, but as our shared language of life. They use our music as the medium to carry out conversations that cross borders.
Showing donations.
They were inspired by the message in the music of BTS to give to charity, to run social campaigns. And finally, the world was amazed.
But in a room full of executives, how can a message about art being about people and not numbers matter? Why would they even pay attention to RM? He is not Big Hit Music's CEO. Why is he talking in a CEO meeting? With his speech, RM answers this question. RM's voice matters because the art of the group he leads was what made cultures around the world connect with them, not a CEO or the numbers. It was not the big three entertainment agencies of South Korea, or even the global big three labels. It was not money, power, or international contacts. It was not a group led by CEOs. It was a group formed around and led by an outspoken 19-year-old.
Trying to get on mainstream media through our music was like doing an experiment and a huge challenge. It was a test to see if music in Korean can work on the global stage. We tried to get on TV to show the world our music, but the doors were closed and would not move. But as you know, we couldn't just sit around and wait. We tried to make our own opportunities. Dance in the streets. We handed out flyers to free shows.
He told this directly to the CEOs and world leaders at the meeting. People trying to get the same effect in societies and cultures around the world. BTS actually did it. BTS actually broke down barriers.
BTS first started to go outside Korea about 10 years ago. And back then, we didn't dream of what we see today. Nothing was like this.
With this acknowledgement, RM is not bragging about his achievements with BTS. He is simply letting his real-life personal story show who made K-pop what it is today. He is not a CEO, but he is the best choice in the entire K-pop industry to talk about this subject. With that being clear, RM then directly asks world leaders to help artists follow the path he's been advocating for.
He's paving the way again for everyone.
How hard it is to ever hear a Korean song in an English-speaking country. I saw how high a cultural barrier could be.
With his speech, RM asks for two things: money and policies that help artists.
There are creators all around the world. Please help them. Give them the financial support.
So he understands. Like him saying it makes sense.
Give them the opportunities so that their talents can really shine. When you think about investing in tomorrow's generations, think about culture as well as economics. As the leaders of APEC, your policies and support will be the canvas and playground for all the creators.
RM asks for economic leaders' help for other artists because BTS experienced themselves how devastating lack of support can be. As artists from a small label, it was exhausting to put so much time and effort into a project that was not able to receive opportunities of being noticed. But BTS's unusual social media promotions gave them opportunities in an unusual place, the Western music industry. That's how they faced another set of challenges that only certain K-pop artists can understand. The big K-pop artists from big K-pop labels I previously mentioned attempted Western promotions, had partnerships with American labels, good industry contacts, and money invested. Yet they still expressed feeling lonely and alienated. This is because the cultural differences and discrimination were stronger than they could ever imagine. According to K-pop artists themselves, Western audiences didn't know anything about K-pop or South Korea.
At that time, the music of BTS was quickly called non-English foreign culture. When we said we are artists from Korea, they didn't ask us about our music. They asked, are you from North Korea or South Korea? Where on earth is Korea? So we had to explain where Korea was before we could even talk about our music. And that was the reality.
But BTS saw themselves in an unexpected situation. They were discriminated against in many ways by the general public and by the industry. But they had a small yet passionate group of fans.
I want you to see this. Look at your fans. They're your fans.
I hear that you all are just social media monsters, if you will. Your fans begged for you to be here tonight, and here you are.
Back then, ARMY was seen as supporters of a minority culture from Asia.
So BTS insisted, RM insisted, the power of art must win. They cannot give up. RM continued expressing his message about art and music being universal.
I really now feel that music transcends the languages. I think they really know what we're saying, even if it's like different languages.
Music is a universal language, so
music truly transcends languages. We believe that. We believe that.
We want to transcend everything. So I guess that's the power of music. Genre, language, topic, there's no borders, boundaries, or limits.
He said again and again, in music we all speak the same language, while experiencing first-hand discrimination for their Korean music.
This is insane.
Right, bro. Shut up. Surely. The hell?
But BTS paved the way. Now Western audiences expect K-pop categories and artists at award shows. The only thing left to do is give opportunities to the small K-pop artists BTS once were. This is why RM is speaking.
I wanna be a human before I do some art. It's a cool world, I just don't be my part.
I find it interesting how RM is one of the artists in the K-pop industry who receives the most heinous hate by K-pop fans, especially when his speeches are recognized by the media as powerful. They hate the idea of recognizing his influence, and they deny
God damn it, that was a stacked list.
They hate the idea of recognizing his influence, and they
president
deny the
and a
power of
chairman.
his voice in any and every way possible. Some say that if his message for artists was genuine, he would speak up for the mistreatment that still exists in the industry today. Directly asking powerful people for their support for artists is not enough. RM should name the artists he is supporting. He should promote and give them his own money if he really cares about them. According to K-pop fans, RM is a narcissist.
Oh my god. This is fucking the most insane thing I've
I
ever
think
seen.
even entertaining a conversation about
Yeah,
this
that's
would be
crazy.
laughable. But I will say this, if you remove all the resentment you have about BTS actually being the biggest group that has ever come out of K-pop, you will see his real message, the message any normal person understands. RM wants the future of K-pop to also be about artists and their art. It's not about RM speaking for and solving every one of the industry's problems. It's about the artists being able to speak out for themselves, whether it's artistically or as human beings.
Give them a
Something
voice.
K-pop fans admit is hard to find in the industry. They admit this by demanding RM to solve these existing problems. RM's message is genuine because he shared it since before BTS's debut. Training, singing, dancing, and stage presence are important in the K-pop industry. RM highlighted the importance of those in interviews and his APEC speech.
K-pop is a great mix of music, choreography, performance, music videos, fashion, and social media.
K-pop is not just a genre of music. It is a 360-degree total package of music, dance, performance, visual style, storytelling, music video, and even social media.
But BTS has nothing to do with the creation of that. That's why RM's fixation is on the power of art. Big Hit had other K-pop groups that followed the same K-pop formula. Beautiful visuals, singing, dancing, and stage presence, but no message about the power of art as a priority. And why would they? Why would anyone in the industry focus on that? At the end of the day though, that is what RM has always focused on, and what has convinced everyone around him.
それはどうやってリーダー決めたの? 그 친구가 가장 똑똑하고 말도 잘하고 생각도 깊고 또 음악적인 부분에서도 그 친구의 방향성의 영감을 크게 많이 받았기 때문에 그래서 아마 그 친구가 리더를 해야 된다가 이제 모두한테 이견이 없었던 것 같아요.
You can love it or you can hate it, but RM is a powerful messenger, and he has always advocated for artists. The medium may be different, but his message stays the same.
Your support can make creators let their creativity soar. With your help, their creations resonate around the whole world. Thank you very much.
Please give it up
We're gonna
for
see these full
RM.
speeches.
What a fascinating speech.
Like she was saying, he's not trying to solve everything almost, right? He's just giving whatever his 2 cents of whatever he found, right? And I feel like most people should listen to it because of his story almost. You know what I mean?
And I think when you speak in front of world leaders and they're giving out numbers and stuff, the most impactful thing you can share is your story, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what comes across as the most impactful, and you can almost inspire so many people just from that. So I think, and there's no one better than him, because from what we've seen, he's been through everything. And as a group, they've been through everything, right? And him being the spokesperson, I guess, is just beautiful.
And having the stage and now using it for something, he chose to use it to further pave the way for all Asian artists and the K-pop community, because he's like, oh, I don't have this opportunity. I want other people to have some sort of canvas, some sort of playground where they can express their art easier, right?
Exactly.
Which is, it's such a phenomenal thing.
And we talked about it in the hardships, but it's like, you almost don't want everyone to go through what BTS went through. It's like, it shouldn't be that difficult.
You don't want anyone to go through that.
Like, you know what I mean? And when they talked about paving the way, it's like, they weren't the first to try to go over to the western side, right? There's a reason why those people couldn't do it, because it takes a lot out of you almost, right? And the fact that the fact that BTS were able to take all of that on and decide that, oh, we're going to be the ones to make the change almost. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And also, as someone who puts the art above everything else, and having that much conviction in what he's saying, and what Jin was saying as well about direction, right? I think it's like the person that has the boots on the ground saying this, it just resonates differently with people. And him using repetition, like going to multiple interviews and saying the same message again and again, no matter what the social media is saying, no matter what people say, that's the reason why he can be at that stage and pave the way for the next generation.
And like, we've seen it since the start, man. They've been saying the same message since the start. They've been preaching the same thing since the start. It's just the scale has gotten bigger.
Literally.